The feature examples sample is a collection of over 30 shader graph files. Each file demonstrates a specific shader technique, such as angle blending, triplanar projection, parallax mapping, and custom lighting. While you won't use these shaders directly in your project, you can use them to quickly learn and understand the various techniques and recreate them in your own work. Each file contains notes that describe what the shader is doing, and most of the shaders are set up with the core functionality contained in a subgraph, so it's easy to copy and paste directly into your own shader. The sample also has extensive documentation describing each of the samples to help you learn. After importing the sample set, you can quickly and easily browse the samples by opening the scene that corresponds to the render pipeline you're using. I'm using URP, so I'll open the URP feature examples scene file. This scene contains all of the samples in the set with a description of each. You can take a guided tour of the scene by selecting the Shader Graph Feature Sample Showcase item at the top of the hierarchy list. Now, open the tour content in a new window with this button. Here you'll see a description of the sample you're currently viewing, and you can jump to the sample you want to see by selecting it using the drop-down menu. I'm interested in flow mapping, so I'll select that option. Here we can see a simple example of flow mapping in action. If I want to open the shader, I can just click this link here at the top, and now I can see exactly how the effect is set up. Notice that the sample shader is full of comments describing exactly how it works. The bulk of the effect is achieved using these two subgraphs, UV flow map and flow map time. If you want to use the flow mapping effect in your own project, it's simple to just copy and paste these nodes right into your own shader. Notice that it looks like the sample is strobing in and out. This is a pretty common artifact of flow mapping, and it's mentioned here in the description. If I click on the link to the material in the guide, the material is selected here, and I can change the temporal mode setting from time only to flow map time. Now the strobing effect is gone, and the motion appears more continuous. Many of the other samples also have interactive settings that you can change and see the results instantly. Let's take a look at a couple more examples. This set of samples shows how to create blending masks on altitude, camera distance, and surface angle. And here's a sample that shows how to create parallax mapping. If we select the material, we can even use the drop-down to switch between normal mapping, parallax mapping, and parallax occlusion mapping to compare these effects. In this example, we show how to customize the lighting model in URP so you can use Shader Graph to not only control what the surface looks like, but exactly how the lighting behaves, including diffuse and specular, ambient lighting, reflections, and even fog. This first example shows how to create a PBR shader. We also include an example of a simplified lighting model for when performance is critical. And for good measure, we threw in a cell shader as well. All of these can be customized and tuned to achieve exactly the look and performance level you're going for. There are dozens more examples here. We've barely scratched the surface. Import this sample set today and take a look for yourself. The feature examples sample is available in 2022 LTS and Unity 6. To import the samples, open the Package Manager and select the Shader Graph package. Then select the Samples tab. On the Samples tab, press the Import button on the Feature Examples sample set. Once imported, you can find the samples under the Samples, Shader Graph, and your version number, and then Feature Examples. The sample assets are divided into categories. The quickest way to explore them is to open them in a scene. Select the Scenes folder and open the scene that corresponds to the render pipeline you're using in your project. With the scene open, now you can see all the samples and explore them using the Sample Showcase. We hope you enjoy this new set of samples. Share your thoughts and comments with us in the ShaderGraph forum.